Alrighty, we are getting back to work. Diesel's relaxing in the sun. Got the good engine out here. Gonna start doing some resealing on it. Got new valve cover gaskets because the spark plug wells are filled with oil. And did I say new spark plug gaskets? I hope I said valve cover gaskets. Oh boy. Anyway, valve cover gaskets. We got new gaskets for the solenoids on the side. I got a new exhaust gasket. Just little odds and ends that while this thing is out, we need to take care of. So belt looks like it's in good shape, so we're going to be leaving that. Water pump should be good. Hopefully just clean this thing up, and we'll get this thing thrown in here in a little while. So I got a bunch of cleaning up to do, so I'm just going to get to work on that. Going to just work through it, so next time you see this, we're going to have a nice clean engine here. So here we go. Alright, engine's all cleaned up, and I'd say it's ready to go in, so see what happens. I got a AC condenser that I'm going to throw in the car first, because this one's all pushed in, and I guess pull that, and somebody tried sealing it right there. So got another AC condenser that we took out of that car. Going to throw that in there, maybe wipe off some of that subframe now that I'm looking at it. She's pretty darn greasy, so get a bunch of that cleaned up first and get this engine thrown in. And then we also got to find out how many miles are on it. Just gotta, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but scratching the window there, how many miles we all think this thing has in it. So yeah, see what happens. Obviously I ain't gonna match the motor. I don't even know how many miles this motor has on it. It has a heat tab, so it came from a scrap yard, so it's not the original engine to this. This thing has 200 some thousand on it, so I don't know. Leave a comment of what you think the mileage is if you want to take a guess. It's always nice when an engine just goes right into place. So start doing a bunch of buttoning up on it. Hopefully next couple hours we'll actually be able to hear this thing run, confirm our mileages on it, and see who wins that bet. So gonna jump right into that, start pulling all the parts out, clean up the intake gasket surfaces, and we'll get this thing all buttoned up here shortly. Well, a few short hours later, we are all back together. Got coolant in the system, got fresh oil in her. We are ready to go. Battery's got a couple more minutes left on charge, but we'll pull it off anyway, get slapped in here. Settle our bets on who wins the mileage guess and go from, I don't know, nothing.
All right.
Yep, how's that? And get this thing fired up for, well, the first time with a running engine in my possession. We know this engine's good because it just came out of that car 2 days ago, so we are all good to go. So we'll get a battery in here and be right back.
A few moments later.
All right, moment of truth is here. Battery's in, we're all ready to go. Our 3 guesses throughout the friends are Brandon had 130, I said 170, and Joey, we sent him a message and he commented back with 153K. So time to find out who's the closest on this one. Moment of truth.
Oh,
243.
234,000 miles.
Yep, 234. I said 243. I was dyslexic on it.
Holy
Doesn't surprise me. I was skeptical on that. All right, cool. Well.
Holy crap.
Oh, it's like it never even. It's like the motor never even came out of something.
Oh my gosh.
Minty. Well, she's a high mileage unit, but I mean, it's a really nice rust-free car.
Body is in incredible shape.
Oh yeah.
230,000 miles.
That is funny.
That is.
I didn't.
Impressive.
That's more than I expected, I will say. Yeah. I expected at most 200K, but 230, like damn. Old girl's been around. But, well, we're gonna get this thing up to operating temp, let her bleed the coolant out, and maybe go for a test drive. I don't know, we'll see. Either way, she's running. That's the most important thing. I got a hood coming this week for it, so we're gonna work on getting that swapped onto it and then get that color matched, and this car is gonna be for sale very soon, so very happy on being able to make a quick turnaround on this so far. So heck yeah, be back in a little bit, see where this progresses to tonight.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So found out pretty quickly that the car has no brakes. Noticed the brake light was on after we started it and pumped the brakes, and found out, well, there is no fluid in the reservoir, so kind of odd that it has no brakes. Hopefully it's just like a popped seal in a caliper or something, and I doubt it has bad lines. This car's in really good shape, so you know, we'll dump some brake fluid in it or make Brandon pump it up, and we'll see if we can find a leak. Yeah, you better get up. There, that should be enough. Pump her up there, good sir. Well, I already lost the cap to that, so. Alrighty.
Oh, it's getting harder.
Is it getting harder?
Oh yeah.
Well, where'd the bike fluid go then?
Oh yeah.
You're telling me you're just gonna pump it up and get brakes?
I mean, I can still push it all the way to the floor, but it's a lot firmer.
Huh. That's surprising.
Here, feel it with your own foot.
I mean, I want to look around.
Yeah, make sure it's not leaking anywhere.
I mean, yeah, it's dry everywhere I look underneath. Huh. Can't hear any leaks. If anything, yeah, we'll have to bleed them. Weird. Well, I guess I'll feel it.
It did get softer there when I stopped doing it.
Yeah. That's really weird. Let me feel it.
Yeah, after you pump it a few
I
times,
mean,
it definitely gets firm.
Because the reservoir is empty. Well, yeah, it sinks to the floor. Tim, I wonder why the brake fluid's gone. It's really weird. I don't know. Well,
Strange.
see where the motivation goes tonight. Maybe I'll pull the wheels off because I do want to try swapping these ones onto it because they have a beefier tire, but they're also a 16-inch rim, so I don't really know what the size difference is going to be because these ones are puny. These got a 215 on it where this has a 215 where this car calls for a 225 whatever, but so completely wrong size, but you got to do what you got to do when you're going through rough times. So they at least worked for my buddy for a while, but we're going to swap these ones on here, I think. Hopefully fill it out a little more and make it look correct rather than having all this gap in the wheel wells. So we will see what happens. Alright, well, let her sit for a little bit and fired her back up, and she got good heat blowing through her now, holding operating temp nicely, so solid, ready to go. And kind of a fail on all of us. I looked in the corner of the window and found a service sticker, so we all could have known what the mileage of this car was, but we were all too dumb to look in the corner of the window. So oil changes due at 2:36, and we all failed to catch that.
Yeah, I even spent half a day cleaning the inside of it and still missed that.
Yeah, it happens.
I wasn't
But
looking there.
car's running good, so gonna start getting this thing buttoned up over the next couple days, and heck yeah, hopefully get this thing out for sale soon.
The next day.
All right, time to get this thing jacked up and on jack stands so we can start figuring out why it doesn't have brakes. And I want to change the wheels and tires off of this one onto it, so gonna get her up on jack stands, start doing some more diagnosing, and figure out what the heck is going on with the brakes on this thing. So let's see what we find. Alright, well, getting back to it now. Haven't gotten the wheels off yet. I got it jacked up and then did an inspection underneath before I went back to work because jacked it up and did what I did there on my lunch. So ended up crawling around a little bit before I went back to work and found that A, I'm very disappointed, and B, the problem is we have a blown brake line. This mother, like, what the heck? This is a really clean car. You can tell it's seen a couple of winters, but it's nowhere near the rust that I would expect to see a bad brake line on this thing. So it's the typical spot where they come through the body here on the passenger side. So, well, fuck me, I guess we're doing brake lines on this thing now in the rear. But minor details, we'll get those knocked out on it tonight hopefully, and go from there, get these rims and tires swapped out, and yeah, we'll just overall see what happens, see what kind of progress we make. But definitely want to get this thing wrapped up. So got a few other projects that we need to work on because, well, the square body Cummins is not happy again. It rattled itself apart, so we got to get these Subarus out of the driveway and get the square body back up here because I want to drive that some more. So let's get this car done. There, you got the undershield off of here, and yep, frickin' Subaru. This stupid junction block leaks on all these dang cars, and this one's really nice. Like, yes, it is high mileage, but like, what the heck? Subaru. That's just the quirkiness of a frickin' Subaru. So, alright, well, we get to cut those up top, put a union in, and go from there, run new brake lines to the rear, all because of that stupid fitting. That junction block that they do for no damn reason. So, here we go. New brake lines. Alright, well, so brake lines might seem overwhelming to a lot of people, but I like to just get in here, snip this stuff right off, and, you know, just get rid of the bad ends. So there's that end cut off, and then come in here with a ratchet. Don't use when you're trying to get all this old stuff out, don't use open end wrenches and that crap. Put a ratchet on there, and honestly, I have learned that just a little bit of pressure on it, and can usually get most of these things to always pop loose. Might have to go hold that one because now it's going to make me eat my words on that one. Yeah, I'll spin the whole fitting in here. Alright, well, I just gotta go get a pair of pliers to hold that, and then I bet you I can get it loose. Of course, because I said that, it's going to be stubborn with me, so I'll be right back on that. Well, as I was saying, if you hold it and then try, you might have some success. There she goes. It's also another reason why you don't want to use a wrench. If you use just a regular socket, I would literally say, even on the rustiest ones, you can usually get these things to pop loose. Unless, at least if they're original. If you're in there after somebody else has dicked with it, you never know what's going to happen. People love to over-tighten things. Alright, got a fitting out of there. Go get the other side done, and all we have to do is start running brake lines. Repeat the same on this side. Alright, don't need to hear any excuses why you can't get those loose. All scenarios are different, but 9 times out of 10 I can get those things loose just by some easy pressure with a regular socket when you cut them off. Alright, so I usually like to run my line next. So we'll get this all strung through. Start with our longest one first, which is going to be the driver's side one. It wraps all the way from the driver's side around over here. So, and then we're going to be routing it back inside the body. So, see what we can do. Start getting that routed, and I will show you how I do that, because it's kind of going to be hard to film by myself. So, I'll just show you how I route it, and I'm going to get it done. Alright, so I got it routed through, so I usually like to just try and mock up how this is going to go in. Try and kind of get an idea, and never hurts to have too much, so don't forget that. I like to freehand all my brake lines. That's how I learned, so personally do not like anything pre-bent. And besides, if you wanted to use some sort of pre-bent kit, which I have never even looked if they make for these, you'd have to drop the whole subframe and tank out, so not worth it. There you go, and we should still have plenty for our short one. So, take the brake line here, and I don't know how well I'll be able to film it, but basically I just run it straight across. You can see the opening over there, that's right above the diff and the cross member here. Run it straight across there. We're going to run it all the way around to the side of the tank, then we come up the brake line hole here, and then where the straight section of line is here, we're going to cut them off right here, and we're going to splice, unions are in the garage, but we're going to splice those into there. So, heck yeah, I'm going to get this other line fitted up, and then I'll show you what I do there. So, got both of our lines made, and I figured before I cut that back section, I'd come in here and get these flared up. So, this is what I do for the back section under the seat. We use unions like this, 2 flared ends, go into it, seal really nicely, and then we just got 2 brand new line nuts for the outside of it. So luckily to my supply of stuff I bought from Advance, and they went out of business, keeping me going, saving me money, and the brake line all came from previous jobs I've done. So saving money here. So we're going to set them up in the flare tool here, get these things flared, and we'll run those through the car. That way when we cut them, we can connect them right away and not have a lot of brake fluid leakage under the seat, because things got a nice interior and I don't want to just let it leak into a rag under there. So gonna get these flared up and move back onto the car. Alright, so the next part of this might seem a little daunting if you've never done brake lines, but it ain't that bad. See, I do need a trim tool. There we go. Never mind. I popped her up. There we go. Try and fold our carpet back. Oh, there we go. Take that piece out of there, I guess. Alright. So, I'm going to do these one at a time, just because might as well. So, less leakage the better. Sadly, Subaru did these cars right, but still messed up on the one part they shouldn't have. They used coated line through the whole car. But that last little bit of the ends is what kills you because of the fittings. So after I cut these, I then got to trim back all the rubber lines. So that's the only crappy part about this job. So yeah, cut these and get right into it. So basically gonna go right at our straight section here. I guess in reality I should have just cut it with this, but oh well. Here we are. And I actually have to go grab my fittings before I start this because, you know, we don't want to flare it and not have a fitting to put on it because that's quite the tragedy.
10 seconds later.
Alright. Now we got fittings, so now it's 100% on me if they get forgotten. Oh good, this stuff's actually going to peel off nice. That's a bonus. This stuff doesn't always just come off on some cars. I've had some where it's just like glued, 100% formed to it, and you just cannot get it off. But this stuff broke right loose. That saves me a lot of time. Mint. Nice and easy. We got plenty of room to put our fitting on while we remember. Cool. So, sadly back here we can't use the nice flare tool that I have in the garage, so gotta break out this guy. Alrighty. And remember how to use it. Got to use the right slots. When you're doing steel line, it doesn't hurt to crank these down a little extra. Steel line really likes to slip in these things, especially when you're doing a double what, bubble? I don't know. There we go. Should be good and snug. And then you just tighten this guy up and hope it doesn't slip. See what we end up with. All right, well, that one didn't go as planned. I definitely split the fuck out of it, so. Darn. That does tend to happen with this steel line. When you overdo it, I might add too much meat there. That sucks. So I gotta cut it off and redo it. It would have been good otherwise. Oh, well, what do you do? Go again. There's my cutter. All right, well, we'll go for round 2. Well, we'll hope for the best on that one. That's all you can do. And that's essentially the gist of it. So I'm gonna get this other one knocked out and catch back up. So heck yeah. Sadly, I'll probably have to bleed these tomorrow because I don't think anyone's stopping over tonight. So luckily tomorrow's Wednesday, all the guys come over and hang out, so I'll sucker one of them into bleeding these brakes with me. So get the other side knocked out like I said, and good to go for the night.
Doesn't have no oil pressure now.
Oh! Well, does it have oil pressure when you rev it?
30.
Perfect.